God damn it.
Go again.
Go again. Hey, everybody. For real this time. Welcome to the May 2021 Q&A. This is to submit a question. It's the $20 and up tier on patreon.com/EZAallies. Everybody can watch, but if you want to submit a question, go there and, pick our brains. Get weird with it. Make us uncomfortable.
No.
Or maybe just make me uncomfortable. Leave the rest of them
just
out
Ben.
of it. Yeah, just
The
me.
rest of us are fine
Me
being
too, me
comfortable.
too. Make me super uncomfortable.
My boy. All right.
Squirm.
Our first question, as always, comes in from Alexander Ziranov. Hey, allies. Please pick six classic Nintendo characters for the next Mortal Kombat 11 pack and describe their fatalities.
Classic Nintendo. So not like NES, just Nintendo characters.
Right.
All right, I got one.
I feel like King K. Rool could deliver the punishment. Throwing him in the
I
ring.
like
Not
that.
Nintendo, not
Okay.
NES.
Oh, I like that.
Masahiro Sakurai, and he kills you with poor internet connection. Like, his fatality is that he just disconnects you from the game. Love you, Sakurai.
Yeah. Does King K. Rool ever use his crown as a weapon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Smash
Yeah.
Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
He throws it.
Yeah. He rolls it at you.
A nice impalement. Stabs you with it a bunch and then like throws you in the air and puts it on the ground and you land on it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, Jones. I like
That
that.
is good.
I just want a thwomp. Just put a thwomp
A
in
thwomp
Mortal
is good.
Kombat.
Bloodwork.
I feel like
yes.
a thwomp could be somebody else's fatality. Like,
Or
Bowser
a
could have a
stage
thwomp
fatality.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be good.
Thwomp stage fatality.
Kirby needs to be an MK, and like they need to portray him realistically. Like when he eats somebody, it's just like horrifying.
Yeah, they try to resist it, but like their eyes come out of their
Yeah,
head and like
yeah.
all their clothes comes off. Yeah. He's just standing there the whole time.
Somebody in chat, Brian, said Donkey Kong destroying someone with his punches is very good. I like that.
Very good.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Kong versus Jax is just like slugfest. Just like trading blows.
Yeah.
Captain Falcon's gotten all the love in Smash Brothers, but Samurai Goro, I think, would be a good, or Pico. Pico's supposed to be pretty deadly as well. F-Zero representation.
Getting a Pokemon to be R-rated would be pretty funny as well.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously you have a bunch of different options, but like a Snorlax Smash would be pretty sick. I would be okay with that.
The Snorlax suffocation. you
Yeah.
know?
And then it plays
Gasping.
It's
Papa Roach
uncomfortably
as
long.
you're doing it.
Yeah.
Suffocation.
5 minutes long.
Yeah.
You can
It's
just
like
hear the muffled
2
screams,
minutes.
like underneath Snorlax.
Or actually, what could be really funny with a Pokemon like Snorlax or something is like, there's a move list that tells you like all of these like crazy, gory sounding names, but every time that you put in one of those inputs, it's still just a friendship move.
I like that.
They'll probably all have friendship moves as well. So, and like DK is like the new Kong. He's got like scars. You know, you can tell he's been through it. You know, a couple patches of hair missing.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
I mean, Bayonetta is pretty much a Nintendo character at this point
Mm-hmm.
and would fit right in. I think maybe that's a
Totally.
little too obvious, though.
Yeah.
Travis
That can happen
touchdown, of
regardless.
course.
Captain Toad. Captain Toad.
Captain Toad would be so funny. And, like, he can't jump. That's his thing. He
That's
can't
his-
jump. Yeah.
Can't jump. Can't jump
Oh,
or
that'd be good.
uppercut. His arms aren't long enough.
But he can bop you.
but he has like a pickaxe that he just like murders
yeah,
people.
hacks you to pieces with.
Kraid.
Kraid is good and very funny. Like just taking up you can't even see all of
It's
Kraid's
just
body.
his feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower belly and feet. I like it.
All right. That was a good first question. I feel like
Yeah,
that
nailed
fit
it.
the first
Yeah.
question role very well. Lighthearted, fun. Next one comes in from Michael. Hello, Easy Allies. There are many exciting events in May and June. The Dragon Quest 35th Anniversary, Guerrilla Collective, E3, Summer Game Fest Kickoff, Live, among others. What are you looking forward to the most?
Whichever one has Elden Ring.
Yeah. Whatever one's got that.
If the Dragon Quest 35th Anniversary has Dragon Quest 12, that automatically wins. That goes right to the top.
obviously hyped for Squares, whatever they're gonna show up or bring.
Yeah, I hope E3 crushes it this year.
Probably out of the stuff that we know is happening so far, that combined Xbox Bethesda conference,
That'll probably be
Yeah.
pretty nuts.
It's very hype.
there's gonna be some cool stuff that gets shown off there.
That'll probably be the quote unquote biggest. I
Yeah.
would imagine, or the most potential. I'm curious to like the Bethesda 15-minute sequence or whatever. Like, and now Bethesda, and like all the colors change and everything.
If I get a new Silent Hill and Dragon's Dogma 2, is that asking for too much? Like,
No.
okay.
You're bumping yourself
Just
up to Huber.
the right
caliber.
amount. Just
Yeah.
right the right amount.
Just the right amount? Okay.
Two big ones, dude. Yeah, E3. Two big ones.
Shout out to Horizon gameplay in 2 days. That's nice.
Dude, I
Hope
wish
they don't foul that up.
I wish when you registered for E3, one of the categories was two big ones. Select.
Two big ones. I'm here for two big
Oh,
ones.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, chat. Speaking of, we were looking at the registration form yesterday, and one of them is like, "Have you covered E3s in the past? Please list them out."
Yeah.
Like each year, comma separated, and I'm just like, "Are you kidding me? This is like, how many numbers do I have to type in this box?"
Veteran Bloodworth.
All right, our next
My seat is not firmly attached to the chair. I was flipped onto the platform.
seeing you
Yay.
with like that like baby boy boat mural
Yeah.
on the back is like amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Next question comes in from Pixelated. I've gotten back into Days Gone recently.
Ooh.
Just got to Lost Lake. Was in bed thinking what rating I'd give it so far, and I struggled. It's not an 8, but I can't give it a 7.5 either. Story of my life, dude. Made me think of this question. Reviewer allies, what game review did you struggle with the most putting a number rating on, and how did you ultimately land on a score? Oh boy, I've got...
Yeah.
How much time do you have?
Crackdown probably. for me. Crackdown
A lot
3.
of reviews. I struggle figuring out what to
And
give.
I hadn't done. I'd landed on my Crackdown score before I'd gotten into multiplayer, and that was fun. Booting it up, being like, "Come on, multiplayer, come on!" Like,
Okay, this is a random
bring
aside,
the review score back up. But no.
but because of my background, somebody said Blood knows about boats. One of the kids actually somehow rummaging around my mom's place found my boating license from high school.
yeah,
They're like, proves that I know all this stuff that I no longer know.
Cyberpunk was really hard to put a score on.
Oh, for sure.
I went through kind of an emotional roller coaster with that one. I think the hardest game to put a number on in recent memory for me was Death Stranding, though. That was
Oh gosh, yeah.
that it felt like it was made so you couldn't properly put a score on it. Like I don't know if there's any answer that I could have arrived at that I would have been 100% satisfied with. I was happy with the content of the review, but I think trying to distill that down to a number was difficult.
Because of the logistics, the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, because it's like
anything
multiple.
like that, yeah.
Those are always the weirdest because you're juggling multiple games plus the remaster / remake effort. just it's just weird what like logic you have to come up with to give it like a number score. It's the one that like makes the least sense in my opinion.
Right. You've got a bunch of individual things that are good on their own, but then yeah, they're already good. You put them all together with they screw up one thing and like the emulation, then it's like, well,
I'm going through that right now with Nocturne, where the quality of the game and the quality of the remaster are conflicting with each other.
Go
ahead.
Ratchet and Clank is a big one for me. The 2016, because it's kind of
Mhm.
like a remake. It's a good game, but it's also like it was a weird one.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that.
It was like way better in some ways, but like also inferior in some other ways. So
Somebody said in chat knack, and that was like the easiest score to slap on.
Dude, I love easy scores.
5 out the gate,
know.
man.
Feels so nice.
Okay, our next question comes in from James Davey. Hey allies, Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Dry Twice came out earlier this month, and I discovered it's a relief that we don't need Kleenex when we play it.
Oh, come on now.
This month's question is quite a personal one. I'm 28 and I'm in a rut I can't get out of. I've achieved a first class degree in film and English, yet since I attended back in 2016, I've done nothing but take on a few unpaid video game writing opportunities for a few websites. During the day, I do little but play games and write for leisure, with no real direction or structure to go on to make the most out of my days. The people around me don't/can't help me, and I'm struggling to help myself. I keep a huge portfolio of my written works on a blog, a website, and such like, and I don't stop writing, but trying to accrue paid work and a reliable source of income in this regard seems quite impossible. I've sent emails to editors, many of whom don't get back to me, although I keep trying. My question then is, how can I become more proactive in seeking a paid video game writing job?
Such a hard question. I imagine it's
Yeah.
really hard right now coming out of the
So
pandemic.
I think like paid writing, just specifically writing, like traditional editorial, like when you think of like classic video game editorial stuff, it almost doesn't exist anymore. So I think it's like an ever increasing market for that kind of thing. And I'm saying this, and it's still like almost impossible to do, but I think since you have a degree in film, I think trying to succeed with either a stream or YouTube is probably a better way to go, and trying to find a unique angle on that or a way that you can capture attention. Again, like still almost impossible.
Because then you can leverage that too if you keep seeking
Right.
out paid writing
Mhm.
stuff. Just like
Yeah.
attack it from all fronts.
I also feel like, and this is also very hard to do, but I also feel like gaming coverage has become a lot more specialized. You know, a lot of very successful streamers/channels focus on a genre, or they focus on a game, right? And they become kind of a go-to source of information for that particular thing. So that might be a way to go. I do think it's harder to be like a variety game player.
Yeah. Well, I think too, it sort of depends on like particularly what types of things you are interested in, right? Because, you know, like a lot of, you know, say like, you know, PlayStation, they have people working at PlayStation blog and doing like all of their kind of video coverage and stuff. And like, so that's a way that you could essentially like show off games and preview games and stuff if you're not, you know, necessarily interested in being like a critic, you know, and being kind of, you know, on the outside. So there's a lot of those opportunities now. But, you know, yeah, there's also papers and just, yeah, I think it's tough because finding those opportunities, it feels like the needle in a haystack, and I couldn't expect anybody to repeat what I ended up doing. So it's,
Right.
there's,
I had a lot of luck with game trailers, but we were in operation for 2 full years with just nothing happening. We were just making aggregating stuff, and I made a couple fun videos on the side, but it was just, and being, married to an actor, it's like, it's tough to tell somebody that you have to be consistent, because that's kind of like the one thing that you can't take out of the equation. Like you can't just like, then you are putting way too much on luck. Essentially, you're like, well, that one video that I made, every 4 months or something, someone's going to notice. But if you show up once a month or once a week or something with content that people can regularly check out, then you begin to grow an audience, and you maybe just put a couple of bucks in your pocket through ads. It's not going to be a ton, but can just help if you find you want to focus more on writing or something else, and it's not necessarily fulfilling you. But persistence, it's very, very difficult. You have to really, really, really want it, because you have to be happy doing it and just it, with like very little success for a long time. That's why like any production or acting class I've ever taken, they're like, before you do any of this, just make sure it's something you really want to do, because it's very, very difficult.
James, I think you're super on point, because like if you go and you watch people that are tremendously successful, a lot of times they'll say like, yeah, I just basically failed for 10 years, and it's like just like an agonizing and grueling amount of time. But like, I think you can take some solace in the fact that, you know, a lot of creators struggle and go through it. Cool. All right. Unless anybody has anything else to say, we'll move on to the next one. Coming in from Sage Mode Q. Heyo, allies. With summer here and the return to the studio imminent, what's something you're really looking forward to about returning to the studio, and what's something you might not be so looking forward to about leaving the comfort of your homes and returning to the outside world?
Shredder's Revenge. Number one thing.
Streets of Rage 4 too, man. We still
And
gotta...
Streets of Rage 4, dude.
Mhm.
Yes.
I really want to
Yes.
stream Shaolin Monks with Dawn super badly. Hope that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll happen, but in our meeting, I was talking about Guilty Gear Strive, and like just the thought of playing a fighting game in person with the allies is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
be
tell you
weird,
what I'm
though.
not looking forward to,
sorry.
though,
Yeah.
is traffic.
Oh my god,
No,
dude!
of course, yeah.
For
it's
sure.
gonna be- I have all new forms of traffic to discover now that I've moved.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
like if you, I just need to throw down the gauntlet here. If you don't live in LA, you don't know how bad the traffic is. You just have no idea.
And it's the other
Legendary.
thing, like, even if we get, you know, when
Legendary.
we get back into the studio, there's still going to be like a preview here and there, impressions here and there, or especially reactions that like, we're going to be at home. We're not all going to like drive an hour and a half down to the studio to be there for 40 minutes to then drive an hour and a half back home.
It truly depresses me because when you're on the roads in LA, everyone is treating you like an enemy.
Oh, absolutely. It is the most
combat.
Yes.
It is combat.
It is.
Yeah. You're so right, dude. Like
Mhm.
people become their worst selves. It's like
Yeah.
dark
It's
world
nuts.
tendency. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Well, I've always
Yeah.
said, I've
Yeah.
been curious
Yeah.
if like we wore
Mad
masks,
Max.
not like pandemic masks, but like you really can't see anything about my face. Like, would we all act like we do when we drive? You know, like if there was no opportunity that the person couldn't talk to me, would people just walk up to people at ATMs and just shove them out of the way and be like, I'm using it now? Like, that's traffic. That's basically what traffic do. People are just like, hi, deal with me.
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention right now, or I don't care if I inconvenience you at all. So it's funny to imagine that person getting out of a car and then suddenly being nice. Like, I don't buy it. I think that person's like, anytime they get in a line, like,
Huber,
like going to Disneyland and people get in line. They're like, like, what did you expect?
yeah.
Where do you think you are? Like,
Yeah.
Point.
at the post office, there's a line. Like, come on.
Huber, I feel like LA traffic is the closest we'll get to the Purge. Like it's basically like a mini version of the Purge.
Truly, dude.
It's the Wild West.
Sound the siren.
Yeah. It's the last vestige we have of the true Wild West, where like you could commit a crime miles from anyone that can do anything about it.
I'm hyped to play Smash again in the studio with everybody.
Mm.
Smash is
yeah.
always the gift that keeps on giving
That's
with
a
us.
good point.
Hubert, Resident Evil Village, man, all I was thinking about was our windows in the stream room the whole time.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically, when
Castle.
you,
New ones.
when you first walk out, he's like, where the hell am I? When you see the castle, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like one
There it
side's the
is.
sun and the other side's the castle. I'm like,
Yes.
capture that shit.
Yeah. Just keep that permanently. No need to ever change.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I think just some of the simplicity of shooting things, right? There's Minigame Champions is a show
Oh
that
my
I
God,
probably
yeah.
should not have done from home.
Achieve it yourself. Yeah. It's like,
Like, okay, so to do this minigame, 3 separate people have to own it and be able to unlock it. Rather than me just doing all that prep work on my own.
That is something. Shout out to Blood, because, well, I can't say too much. I don't want to spoil the show, but prepping for Minigame Champions, like you always were very considerate of like, okay, how easy is this to get to, and like, you know, it took like a little bit of work sometimes, but it was never like a huge deal.
Yeah, I think the first one was completely the worst. The Yakuza batting cages.
eh.
Because that took like an hour and a half if you're like mashing through like all the text.
There's always
I'm
a
excited for the podcast to sound good. This can be nice. Yeah. So, nice little bonus. You know.
correct me if I'm
Unexpected.
wrong, chat, but I feel like Frame Trap has been sounding pretty good. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know. Maybe I just don't remember what the studio sounds like.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always a small subset of people that complain when we play Smash, and I respect their opinion, but I don't understand it. It's so much fun. It's like Bloody Edge, dude.
Bloody
Like
Edge.
what are you talking about?
Best created character I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bloody Edge.
Absolutely. I get a kick out of it every time. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes in from John Lakeman. Patriot Watch Party Season 2 when?
Ian's not here, but we still got to finish season 1. We got 4 episodes left. We will make it happen. I'm desperate to finish. Ian as well. We'll definitely make it happen. 100%. Sooner rather than later, at least for season 1. I don't know about season 2, but it's something both of us definitely want to do. 100%.
Next question comes in from Ebo Show. Hi, Ellis. After the past year, do you think digital events are the future?
Part of it.
They're part of it.
They're not
I
going to
think
take
we'll
over.
probably see more of them. But yeah, I am curious what E3 actually does next year.
I unfortunately think the answer is yes. I would love, especially after last year, more in-person events. But like, I think how Capcom handled Resident Evil Village, and like how much attention that got, and how many times they did it, and it seems to just be so effective to kind of like create your own space and your own noise, and it seems easier to do that with a digital event rather than get swallowed up by something else. But I don't know.
I wonder if
I
conventions
guess-
will exist as like a fan-focused thing. You know?
Yeah, like BlizzCon or whatever will probably come back. Stuff like that I could see.
Yeah,
happening
PAX will
still.
come back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely elements of it that just can't be replicated
Totally.
because they're not about watching a video
Right.
or watching an announcement.
Do any of you think everyone will just pull out of E3 proper and just everyone will do their own thing? Or do you think there'll always be a place for like ESA, E3?
I think the worst case will be cyclical. If they all pull out, they'll eventually get people who complain after enough time saying, I miss having, just like after last summer, I missed that condensed week of big announcements. Yeah, they already tried to do that. They already tried to move away from what E3 was, and everyone kind of complained that like, this actually is bad. So while the format may need to evolve, I think the concept is not going away anytime soon.
My shirt, Brad.
Oh, thanks, dude. Batman.
Brad had a good shirt yesterday, too. Our next question comes in from Varun Kechwaha. I feel like now more than ever, I'm seeing a trend of people parroting an opinion. What I mean by this is someone that hasn't played or experienced the game for themselves, taking legitimate criticisms out of context only to make that thing look worse. For example, a review might say the AI isn't amazing, but then all of a sudden, whenever you see a conversation about it, you'll see so many comments saying, but the AI wasn't amazing, mainly just to argue with people that enjoy said thing. Why do you think that is? Is this something that's getting worse? Like I think, have you seen points you've said in reviews taken out of context, and what are your thoughts on it?
Always gonna be both sides to every argument.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's always gonna be people criticizing and praising on everything all the time. But I mean, with social media, it's definitely it's a lot. It's nonstop.
Yeah.
So I get that sense of like, oh, I notice it more. It's just because social media now is just.
Well, I think you're like hitting the nail on the head because social media is engineered for controversy. Like its entire design is built on getting people to engage with you, and so being inflammatory is like a surefire way to do that. And so I think that is just like pervaded over into how we talk about things for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, it's like there's like this weird like funneling effect where there has to be a correct opinion on everything.
Right.
And so if you're not part of the correct opinion, then you're going to get shouted at until you either join in and have the correct opinion, or you just shut up. Like, that's basically how it goes.
Dude, blood, absolutely, man. And like, what's so funny to
Oh,
me
that's
is
good.
like people will get more upset whether you like or dislike a video game. Like they will make it their life's
Yeah.
mission to
Yeah.
prove you wrong. They'll put more energy into that than something that actually matters.
Yeah.
It's like insane.
I know, it's out of hand, dude. It's out of
Right.
hand.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I watch my two godsons are two boys, and the younger one, of course, like I'm the younger brother, and so like I'm very much paying attention to him and the way he acts, and I'm like, yep, I remember that, and like I remember just being desperate to be heard. I just remember being like, like the whole group would be talking about something, and I'd be like, yeah, and again, copy paste opinion, yay, everybody turned and looked at me, like so. There's just a lot of times where he'll smile and nod, and I'll be like, dude, you have no idea what we're talking about, man. So I imagine that's too. That's just people want to join the conversation, and so they'll just like grab the nearest opinion they find and just go copy paste it everywhere.
Totally. Yeah. I think that's a very human emotion, right? Like I think on some level, like if you care about a thing, you want to participate in it, and with video games, that can be hard sometimes, for sure. Like Half-Life Alyx, perfect example. Not an easy thing to participate in, but we certainly spent a lot of time talking about it, and so I think that happens a lot. Yeah, totally.
Where do I sign up for this Planet Earth documentary starring Michael Damiani right now?
Yeah.
What is this?
You think it's Planet Earth?
I think. Oh, where are we?
Where would you look at?
Documentary.
Mass Effect.
Where would you observe Earth from this view?
The Ark, dude.
Yeah, the
The
space
moon,
road,
baby.
the lunar whale. That's amazing.
Next question comes in from Alex McMillan. Greetings, allies. With the return of the studio on the horizon and the possible return of mysterious monsters, I am, as I often am, thinking about game shows. I would like to ask which game show you personally would like to go on, and which one you think each ally would do best on. Personally, I could see Huber absolutely excelling on Survivor, and Bloodworth would do great on Jeopardy.
Oh, I'd be terrified of Jeopardy.
Huber, with that beard, I think you're. I think that's
I
what
know
you're
where-
doing. Yeah, I
I
think
know
you're.
where
just
we're
gonna-
Dude, I always wanted to go on Big Brother for real.
Oh,
Always
Oh
wanted
my
to do it.
god.
Cause
You go
like,
insane.
is that a game show? Do they kick people
I'm
off? of
so,
Big
like-
Brother? Is that how that works? I thought it was
yeah,
just,
you get
real
like
world.
voted
Yeah.
out and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Trusting.
I've never seen it.
I'm so trusting. Beth is always like, dude, everyone will just lie to your face, like trick you into like having their back, and then
Betrayal.
betrayals, dude.
Childhood dream. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
good one, Damiani. I like that.
Dude,
Yeah, Double Dare was all day.
I wanted to
Double
be on
Dare
that
for
so
sure.
badly.
Double Dare's great.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yo,
think
Price
Wheel
is
of Fortune
Right.
might be the nice middle ground, where it's like, okay, it's about words and it's trying to identify a phrase or something, but it's not like crazy obscure thing.
I think yeah.
What was
Wheel
that
of Fortune.
Japanese game show that they did dub for?
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Ninja Warrior, Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Ninja Warrior.
No, no.
The Takeshi's Castle.
Yes,
dude,
yes.
Yes, Takeshi's Castle.
Oh, I thought that show was so funny back in the day.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Oh
I'd
shit,
love to
dude.
do Family
Yeah,
Feud
those
with you
physical
guys.
ones definitely would be fun.
Because you see like Ultimate Ninja Warrior, and like these people are trained and have been looking forward to this for weeks, and you see these poor ladies running in the mud and just giant ball like you didn't prepare for this. What are you doing here?
I want to see Jones on American Gladiator. Headband, just like
I used to watch
pumped
a
up.
lot of that, man. Yeah,
Nice.
it would be an honor to get hit with a tennis ball from that crew.
Ian, if you could be on one game show, what would it be?
Well, Legends of the Hidden Temple's coming back, Damiani,
There
so
we
you
go.
could be on it.
I
They're doing it with grown-ups.
That's fantastic.
feel like new kids should get to have that enjoyment, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like
Give
video game.
optimism to the younger generation.
There's no video game trivia game show, is there? Like just purely video game trivia?
There was.
They're just filtering into
Or-
Jeopardy now, yeah.
Because I would crush that, I think. But
on Nickelodeon back in the day, they had something like that.
Oh,
Big Brother. would
oh,
be
the
fun.
tester. You're right. I forgot about the
Yeah.
tester. Holy shit.
I would want to be on Taskmaster for sure. Taskmaster.
It would be great if like all of us could somehow participate in Family Feud.
Be so
Mm.
We would be the family, you know?
Oh my god.
That's a good idea for a show, Blood. That's a legit good idea for a show.
Influencer
Says-
feud.
Sorry, I'm eating. I just finished a different shoot.
Yeah, you betrayed us.
Yeah, that was tweeted. So
They tweeted it, so I could say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
They were shooting a kind of funny thing. I just had like a sneeze attack too, and now it's done. I don't know why that happened.
Guts,
I think-
dude.
It's chaos.
Guts.
Oh,
yeah.
guts.
Aggro crag.
Mo.
The aggro crag.
Shout out to Mo.
That's it.
Mo, dude. I was in love with Mo as a kid.
Mo hype.
Our next question comes in from RF Switch. Greetings, allies. I'm sorry for this more personal question, but do you have any advice for someone who is moving across the country? More so if they have an elderly animal such as a cat.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, for the cat, if you're planning to drive, the vet will prescribe you some stuff to keep the cat calm so that they don't stress out, because at older ages, stress can like lead to complications with your cat. So that would be the first thing. I would go make a vet visit and definitely talk with your vet about what you'll need to do. At that age, you probably cannot fly with your cat, unless they're like basically knocked out, because like that flight might like the conditions might like just wreck your cat. So it's pretty much drive or bust. Yeah. Unless they have like some sleep medication. Don't try and push yourself. Basically, because I had to do this with Tifa and Cloud coming back here. I had to go to drive to Texas, and then I had to drive back a year and a half later. Don't, even if you're like me, someone who can like power through a drive and like doesn't need to sleep, that's not good for them. Plan to stop at places and like don't drive for too long so they can get out. You know, make sure you bring like, you have to have food, water. You're gonna have to bring your own like pan, like get disposable pans and buy like a smaller thing of litter, and look ahead to make sure. A lot of smaller hotel chains or sorry, the national chains are good about pet friendly. Just double check that because you don't want to be trying to like sneak into a hotel that you're not supposed to be in and stuff. Like, it's not a fun thing to try and do.
Good tips.
I think that was well covered.
Yeah, I don't think I can add anything to that. I haven't had that experience.
Yeah, I don't know about the cat angle, but yeah, just taking your time. When I drove myself across the country, I was like seeing the sights and stuff too, and made like a thing out of it. Just treat yourself. Also, stay in terrifying, very cheap hotels at night by yourself with everything you own in your car. That's a really fun experience too.
Good.
Our next question comes in from Ulf himself. Hey, allies, when it comes to content creation, is there anything that you were forced into doing due to work from home, or due to the work from home order, or that you will keep doing even when you go back to the studio? For instance, if there's an out of nowhere early morning direct, you could do a Zoom setup instead of an early drive to the studio.
Count on it.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll still do stuff on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I would say a mid-afternoon direct would be just fine for a Zoom call.
Well, the way
Oh.
Sony and Nintendo have been like announcing these
Yeah.
directs, they're like, okay, we're gonna have a big direct in 5 minutes. It's like, okay, all right, well,
oh yeah. God, I'm so
don't
scared
get it.
Nintendo's
Why?
gonna do that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because what is it? Microsoft, Jeff Grubb claims that Microsoft's now going on Sunday, which
Okay.
would follow. I don't know. It's weird. So now I'm getting scared that Nintendo's is going to do Tuesday, and they're going to announce it like Monday. Like, watch.
I would not at all be surprised if Nintendo did Tuesday.
And like this Tuesdays is their day. They like do
That's
Treehouse
their day.
Live
It's
all
always
day.
their day.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
they just want a whole day to themselves, and they want to go last. They like to go last. So I'm just preparing for that. But having guests, a lot of the guests I've been able to have on Friend Code,
Yeah.
the pandemic afforded me to have remote guests, which was really nice. And a lot of the guests, do not live around here. So when we go back to the studio, there'll definitely be in-person episodes of Friend Code. But if I feel that like I want to have a guest back on, they like to still have a way to do that. So there might still be episodes of Friend Code which are done completely remotely just to accommodate the guests.
Yeah, and I think like with the impressions videos too, like where we're talking for 20 minutes or something, like I would try as best as I can to make those happen at a time when we're going in for
Uh-oh.
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 Vacation starts.
stream
Blood's
or
changing
podcast.
paper.
We lost you. We lost you, bud. We lost,
Lost
you,
at
bud.
sea,
Go back 2
blood.
seconds.
There he is.
Lost
He's
at
smiling.
sea.
That's funny because you guys didn't cut out for me at all, but I did get a connection unstable a minute ago. So,
Oh, funny.
but yeah, so short things like impressions videos where we're only talking for like 20 or 30 minutes. I would try to still schedule those when we go into the studio, but like if we're not going into the studio for 4 days and this is something that's gonna, needs to be shot and go up the next day or a day after, then yeah, like we said earlier, we're not gonna have people on the road for 3.5 hours to shoot a 30-minute thing.
We're just going to turn the studio into a streamer house, and you will see every second of our lives. I think like right now more than ever, I'm excited to just be back in person with you guys. I think because it feels so close, like it feels real. I think that's part of it.
Have we said that yet, or did I miss that?
We're actually shooting this from the studio.
Yeah.
We just,
Yep.
Our next question comes in from DRD 7 of 14. Good afternoon, allies. Good afternoon, good allies. What is your most valued game purchase? Don't necessarily mean
Sorry,
most
Jones.
expensive.
Yeah, it's you don't ask that out loud. Is this a thing I shouldn't say? Yes.
No.
Oh, well. Oh,
I was
sorry.
talking about-
Shouldn't have said it.
I was talking about DRD saying only hello to the good allies.
Gotcha.
All right. What is your most valued game purchase? Don't mean most expensive necessarily, but most cherished. Bill, feel free to choose that if you wish. Love to hear about it and the story behind it.
For whatever reason, I always think about Max Payne 1. I don't know why, dude. I don't know why. I can just always like picture myself at the EB games with my mom. I just remember have such an image of being in the passenger seat, reading the instruction manual, like telling her about the guns as she's driving me home. It's just so ingrained in my head.
Oh,
And
to
it was
have
like the
that
big
recording.
It was the big
Yeah, I can
PC
picture
box,
that.
but inside was like the DVD case, and I remember it being one of the first DVD cases. So I just remember it being so
remember that.
slick. It was so slick.
It was double wide, if I recall.
I feel like I've known you now for like a good chunk of my adult life. And like you still say things that I can't believe. Like it's amazing.
I feel like
Robot.
And then just right when he wants to talk.
getting that. Hello.
Yes, you're back.
Hello.
Okay. I feel like getting that gold cartridge, Ocarina of Time.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, and having that pre-order, I had a gold pre-order shirt.
So I don't know that I've ever been more excited for a game in my entire life than Metal Gear Solid 2. Because, like, at that point, Metal Gear Solid 1 was absolutely my favorite game. I was obsessed with it. My whole life revolved around it. And I remember, like, Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, and I was like, oh, no, like, am I going to be able to get it? Is it going to be sold out? And my dad came home from a business trip, and he surprised me with a copy of MGS2 and the guide for it. And I was like, it was like that. I was like, I couldn't have been happier. Like, it just like it was like delivered from heaven to me. And it was so sick.
I remember Twilight Princess was a big one for me because it came out with the Wii, and I remember I was with Mike. We went to Pink's before it. It was like the best day ever, man. Got some sick chili dogs. We picked it up. Hubert was so pumped for me to get Zelda. He wasn't even like thinking about himself. He was just excited for me to get it.
Yep. I cared way more about like Brad playing than me playing. I just like didn't even care. Just the energy, dude. The hype from Brad was so good.
Man, thinking back to this period of time, like, I'm realizing how momentous getting so many of these games was. Like, PS2 was huge. Final Fantasy VII, like, changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, every time I got a Suikoden game, it was like reading it in the car. I was like freaking out with Suikoden 2, like reading through the manual and stuff in the car. It's just like all of them felt so good.
Yeah, Ian, it's kind of crazy because like in a way I sort of miss the days where like you couldn't be as connected, because I remember going into a game store and seeing Final Fantasy IX on a shelf, and I was like, "What the fuck? Final Fantasy IX is out? I didn't know this was out." And it's just like, you know, getting to have kind of that like euphoric
Surprise.
reaction to it. Yeah.
That stopped for me with Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was the first game where like I knew the release date. You know, it's like I was like telling friends about it. And they were like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "GoldenEye." They're like, "Yeah, the movie." I'm like, "No, the game is."
I think I played Suikoden 5, yeah. But yeah, I got Suikoden 2 when it came out, like day of, or whatever kid day of was.
Do you
Probably
still
like
have
Ben
it? Because
said.
that's quite a rare
I
item.
do. I have
these days.
Suikoden 1 and 2 original.
Nice. Yeah. Hold on to
I think
that.
they're both in my closet with my son.
Boomer allies, we are.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
This is
We're
just
we're geriatric millennials. Thank you very much.
yeah.
Except for Jones and Blood are terrible. Gen
No, when you
Xers.
say like you're boomer, it's not literally you're a boomer. It's a
Right.
I know.
mindset.
Right,
Sorry, I
right,
was
right.
being chuggy.
Yeah, that's a very boomer thing to do.
Yeah. Better to be thought a boomer than open your mouth
I
and
mean, I
prove
think
it, right?
I think the boomer statement is that Apple statement of like, not all gamers are guys in their mom's basements
my
or whatever
God.
that nonsense.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've moved beyond the kid in the
Like,
basement
When-
analogy. I
when
think.
was that?
Our next question comes in from Corey Jackson. With the interest of Musou devs wanting to do a Mario Musou game, they could easily bring back Wart to tie a story in with that game. What characters do you want, and what weapons and specials would they have? Anything goes in a Warriors
Who's
game.
Wart?
That's 2, right? That's
Yes.
the frog
Yeah,
from 2.
Yes.
the
Yeah.
boss of
Yeah.
Satan.
Oh.
the Nintendo
Yeah.
lore.
Oh,
I got it.
there
Oh,
he is.
so it's a Mario Muso? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Brad
We just
gave
talked
me-
about this
Brad
on
just
Friend
gave me
Code.
all his ideas
Yeah.
on friend code about this.
Claim them for your own, dummy Annie. Now's your
Yeah,
chance.
how to steal them. Sorry.
I don't remember them all, so go ahead.
Perfect.
I was spitballing.
Well, I mean, you know you gotta have Bowser in there, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Bowser, dude. Just like unlimited flame breath in a Muso. Bowser. Just hold it down.
Dude, I think what would be even better than the flame breath for Bowser is the like shell spin and just going like way
Yeah.
too fast, like across the entire map.
I like the idea of like throwing a green shell and it just keeps going. And then you get more green shells and you throw those to the point where there's just 50 green shells just flying around the battlefield. Like, will they hit you or your partners or
That's pretty
enemies?
fun.
Who knows?
I would
I'd-
love to
I'd
see
love-
a scene with Rosalina where like
Hmm.
she comes out and everyone always loves her, she's so nice or whatever, but then like she does something, she exhibits some kind of like horrific power and everyone is just like they all like step back, they're all like, whoa, like when Galadriel goes all freaky. It's like beautiful and terrible and what? Like Rosalina does that and everyone's like, oh my god. And then she's like, what?
Oh,
I think that would just make me love her more.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Huber,
oh.
I was into Bowser a
You don't
lot
get to go,
because the idea of killing toads, like an army of toads, was so appealing to me. Like, how
Just
often you need to
toads?
do that? Yeah.
Toad's burning alive,
Just dying
dude.
constantly.
On fire.
Yeah, you never get to do that kind of shit, man. Like, that's what I want. Cut loose with the villains.
Just empty
Yeah.
toad hats
I
everywhere.
want to know what a toad on fire sounds like.
God.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool because they've been kind of doing a pretty good job of incorporating like elements of their franchises when they do crossovers. I think it would be neat if like when you do a Musou attack as a Mario character, say Mario for instance, like you actually have to like jump on their head and like time it, and there's like some element of platforming mixed in with the combat. I think that would be really cool.
It's impossible to judge the Z-axis, so you never hit them correctly.
Even if it was like a quick time event, I think that would just something. I think to kind of like give.
I think it'd be
you
nice to have platforming the levels
Yeah,
be
totally.
cool.
from a different
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Well, you're even thinking about like an army of Goombas coming at you. Like, why wouldn't you be bouncing on them? You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny, Blood, because like, basic trash mob enemies in Musou games are pretty much Goombas anyway. Like,
Right.
they barely do anything anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a chain chomp, right?
Oh, dude, yeah, you gotta have
Weapon.
somebody wielding a chain chomp.
That'd be
Great
yeah.
weapon.
Yeah,
The
dude.
huge one from 64, dude.
Yeah, someone tames it.
Munching on some toads.
Yeah.
Is it weird to say that I want the Mario Musou to have a bad frame rate? Like, I want I want to get the superstar and then just have it go to like single digits of chaos.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
It'd be a genuine feeling. Yeah.
So, like, you get the star song, but it's like stuttering.
It's just like stuttering, like an embarrassing amount of stuttering.
We'd have to have Gino in there just to rub salt in the wound for the Smash fans.
Oh my god.
At this point, I feel like Gino
But you
fans would
can't-
take anything, though. I think that'd be a net win, right?
He's
And we gotta
just
piss
an NPC,
Bosman off.
though.
There's a Mario of every style. So there's like
Yeah.
Paper Mario with
Right.
like Thousand Year Door Mario with yeah.
A Mario Maker Musou level.
I feel like a Mario Mooser would just already piss Kyle off, right? Like,
Yep. Like this
What
Nintendo
doesn't piss
64
Kyle
blocky
off?
polygon Mario.
What about Boshi? We're talking about Mario
Boshi?
RPG
Oh,
characters.
shit, yeah.
Bruce Bochy?
I thought I knew Mario pretty well. Who are all these
It's Super
people?
Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he's
never
like
played
Yoshi,
that.
but he's got like a spiked collar and sunglasses. Right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. He's
actually,
the cool Yoshi.
just make the entire game like Thousand Year Door style.
Give me a Bob Hoskins skin and call it a day.
Yeah, dude. Get some movie stuff in there.
That's
man.
it.
Yoshi from the movie gets stabbed in the neck. It's insane.
Yeah,
That's the most edgy Yoshi. He gets stabbed in the neck.
yeah.
Oh man, putting Birdo in the game would be great. Just like shooting eggs at people. Yeah, I'm into
Love
that.
Birdo.
Fun question.
Mhm.
Next one comes in from Brian from Happy Gaming. Hello there, allies. It's time again to play the EZA Dating Game. I always look forward to this. Where the allies must collectively choose a character from a franchise that they would love to collectively date. Last month we had you discussing Zelda. It came down to Urbosa and Midna, and ultimately Midna in her human form was too hot and tall to say no to. Correct. Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
So hot and so tall.
The official
It's so
Easy Allies
sad.
stance is Midna, adult Midna is hot. With Final Fantasy VII Intergrade releasing next month, I thought now would be a good time to get the first of many Final Fantasy games out of the way in 7. Maybe you'll lean towards Barrett. He's a good father for sure, but even with one hand, he'd definitely make a good daddy too. Maybe it will come down to the typical argument of Eris's charm versus the spunk of Tifa, who are both wonderful. And don't forget Jessie too, who the gorgeous Erica Lindbeck brought to life in Remake like she did Futaba in Persona. Cloud also looks pretty damn fine in that dress, even if he is a little distant and moody. There are many more to consider, especially those who didn't make it into the first volume of Remake. Have fun, and remember, everyone has to agree.
So it's.
I'm friends with Erica Lindbeck, so Jesse would be too weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Sephiroth.
I want the challenge of Sephiroth.
It's
What if
probably
you're,
Sephiroth.
It's
Oh,
absolutely
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
You're lying to yourself if you don't think it's
Yeah,
Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Oh my
everyone
gosh.
wants to fuck Sephiroth.
Yeah.
That's a universal
Although,
truth. There are not very many of them.
Absolutely.
If Barrett could get some really interesting attachments on that arm, just
All right,
saying.
now.
Just saying.
Yeah. Just and enhance it with materia.
Did you stay
Dude,
with
Brad, you're so right.
Fire, a little ice, you know?
Haste.
I thought this was going to be tough, but like, it's definitely Sephiroth.
Holy shit.
Oh!
Haste.
Tifa and Aerith are god tier hot, but Sephiroth, yeah, my goodness.
Yo, what about Stop?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Barrier. Always bring a
And-
barrier in.
Yeah,
Barrier, yep,
yeah, you
gotta
can
wear a
cast you
barrier.
can cast protect. You're perfect.
Oh my god. Barrier, dude.
Seph... Reflect.
Yeah, now I gotta bring up a list of materia. What do we
Yeah,
got here?
what other sex
All
material?
right, we're ranking,
Holy shit.
ranking materia next time.
Sexiest, top 10 sexiest materia.
Yep, there we.
Yeah,
Well, we're making that video. That's happening.
That's our next tier maker. Somebody
Would
suggest that.
Sephiroth,
Restore.
Sexy
would
as
Sephiroth
tier
Mis-
include
mystify. That's good.
Ooh.
would Sephiroth include his giant blade
Yeah.
in the sexual act?
You got to make sure you have exit just in case.
It'd be next to the bed, dude. Just like it would have a presence.
Surprised
I mean,
that
it could
people
be
don't
hot to
want
get, like-
Reno.
It could be hot to get like stabbed with it and then like Phoenix down, you know? Kind of just like
Oh, he'd be way
cycle.
into that.
he'd be way into that.
Dude.
Sephiroth would be talking to you about Aerith during the act.
Phoenix down.
What he did.
I'm
So
sad,
boring.
dude. I'm
He wouldn't
sad.
survive with Sephiroth.
Reno's more interesting.
Yeah, Sephiroth has plot killing abilities. That's true.
Brad looks disgusted by this. Brad suggested this.
What, Sephiroth?
This is
Brad opened
Yeah, this is
Well,
Brad.
you guys took it to a whole nother level. Don't even think I started that.
Oh my God, summon the
Pinning it
potential.
up, Brad.
Yeah.
Summon support.
I don't call it the Buster Sword.
Dude, can you imagine like sexual summons?
Yeah, dude. Get
Yes.
a freedom.
Buster Sword.
Yes. So
Shiva
Square
is-
Enix. Square
I've been
Enix.
imagining-
Come on in, Rambu.
Summons.
I've been imagining a sexual summon of Shiva my entire life.
Yeah. Yep.
Sexual awakening that ice bitch, man. Oh,
Did we take this too far?
not far enough. Where's the damn list of all the material? Why can't I
I
find
found it. I,
Where's
I made,
that-
an,
what's
I
that
made an
anime?
escape joke. Nobody registered.
What's
Put
that
it in
anime
Slack.
image again?
Okay.
What's
Put
that
it in
anime
Slack.
image? We've clearly gone too far, but let's keep going. It's anyway.
I'm not joking. Put it in Slack. I can't
Alright.
find a good list.
Our next question comes in from Christian. Hey, allies, do you ever avoid foods due to how you eat it? For example, avoiding crab because you don't feel like removing the shell, or picking a burrito bowl over burrito because you don't want to get your hands greasy. Dude, all the
Yeah,
time.
but constantly.
Gaming.
Yeah,
you
if
know,
like
I'm always
in
gaming.
front of people, yeah, I'll avoid a lot
Almost
of foods.
every
I
food
don't
I
think
avoid.
so.
The classic example for me is like I prefer bone-in wings to
Same,
boneless,
same.
but there are just times where you're like, I can't deal with the mess.
Oh
of
yeah, I don't
Bone
like
in
Give me the
rings
marrow,
right now.
dude. Gotta do bone in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, I'm
it.
with
Oh,
you. I
yeah.
prefer them too.
It just doesn't
Just
taste
sometimes
the
it doesn't work
same,
out.
Yeah.
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 Dark
No,
meat.
wings.
It's a bummer
I'm
'cause
not
I-
into for that reason for sure.
I love seafood and I love like shrimp, but like like peeling shrimp is not like my favorite thing. Like cracking
Man,
open lobster, it's not
dude,
like some
love-
people get a big kick out of it. But I'm
Yep,
just
I
like,
love peeling shrimp, man. It's so fun.
it's great.
But not in front of,
I
not in
always
front of
do
people,
a-
though. I won't get in front of people.
Ah, okay.
I always do a burrito bowl now.
Lovable.
Like,
Yeah, like
One-
burrito
100%
bowl,
of the time.
use a fork and a knife. Wait, what do you,
Lovable.
who
What do
uses
you need
a
a
hands?
knife even for? Lovable.
Or fork? Sorry, just fork. Yeah.
I'm gonna order a
knife.
burrito bowl later today.
because the thing is, all right, let me give you the Chipotle Pro Strats.
Oh.
I've learned this from years of
Don't
experience.
go.
That is a valid option. Very valid option. One way to go. But if you do order, get a burrito bowl, okay? And the thing is, it's like not that good on its own. But if you have it delivered, you put it in a bowl because they don't mix the ingredients around. Put a little hot sauce on there, some salt and pepper, mix everything around, put it in the microwave for a minute and a half. It is twice as good. Twice as
I
good.
I can't reheat Chipotle burrito bowls. It's just, they taste
Dude, they
so
give it to you
bad.
cold anyway.
Oh, no,
You're just like heating it
that's
for the
why
first
I have
time.
Chipotle. I have to go in person, order it there, and then rush my ass home and eat it because that's about like a 15-minute window. Otherwise, it's
beans,
horrible.
man.
I don't get beans. I get cauliflower
coagulate.
rice. I get the cauliflower rice only. Since
Nice.
yeah.
You guys gotta go to Tacos Tu Madre.
no, that's not that's for that's
Their
for
burrito
real.
bowls are
that's
fantastic.
it's a different taste. Ian. Chipotle has a different taste. It's not
That's
not like
true.
authentic, but if I want
I
that
don't-
taste, I'm going there. But
Is it weird that I don't mix my burrito bowl? I just like choose what I'm eating
right.
and I mix
I-
it on my
I don't
fork
really
a
mix it
little
up.
bit.
So there's a Midwest
mix
burrito
it.
place that's much better called Pancheros, where they fresh press the tortillas, which they don't do at Chipotle, and they mix the ingredients, and it's like one of their key
I
selling
gotcha.
points. It just tastes better because, like,
Mhm.
if you're like me, and if you're getting a burrito, it's got to be you got to put a lot of shit in the burrito. Otherwise, what's the
Dude.
point? People who get sparse burritos,
Cafe.
no,
The only place like that up here is Cafe Rio. They do the fresh pressed tortilla stuff. It's so good.
yeah, fresh pressed tortillas
Yeah,
are
it's
a way
amazing.
of life, and you got to mix that
Yep,
shit.
and they mix
There's
it. They,
a-
they mix it.
There's a Mexican place by the office that has like two old ladies making tortillas literally right there, and you can like see them making it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so many good places down there.
Qdoba does make you look pregnant.
Damn,
every
hungry.
time.
I already had lunch. I'm hungry.
Bone in.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Bone
Yeah.
in,
knows what's up.
baby.
Does anyone?
Ben loves food. Ben knows what's up. Bone in.
Yeah,
Gotta do it.
absolutely. It's amazing how bad some people's food opinions are. It's amazing. Is there anybody
Ben.
that prefers Like the taste of boneless over bone-in.
You attack people on
I can't
social
imagine.
media
I don't
for
like
their
wings
food
at all.
opinions.
Yeah, I'm not.
Wings are
But that's like
amazing.
the whole point of this question. Wings and ribs to me are like, I like these things, but like the amount of mess that you go through for them is
Yeah.
like,
It's
not a
I
lot
don't
of
like
meat on
having-
them.
Yeah. It's
I
I don't like
usually
having things on my
unnecessary.
hands
It's
like
messy.
ever. So
This is why we have social media.
When
Put
I
a
eat
sink next to
bone,
my table.
when I
Yeah.
eat bone-in wings, you just gotta let it happen. Just
Dude,
accept the
What?
mess, clean up after.
Oh.
Clean up after.
Huber, I have a story for
That's it.
this. I have a story for this.
No big deal.
I ordered some fucking Wingstop, right? It was bone-in. I was ready to go. Without saying anything, my wife comes and hands me a towel, sending a message, and she said, like, you are a barbarian when you eat wings. Like you are a fucking
Yep.
monster. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just attack
You gotta-
him, dude.
then, out of spite, did
Yeah.
you just eat it as messily as possible while maintaining perfect eye
I-
contact the entire time?
I'm a messy eater. Like, I feel like every time I eat, I drop something on the ground, and like I look at my wife, and she just looks at me like, I guess this is it. This is my life now.
So funny.
You eat so slowly though. It should be more meticulous, but somehow it's not.
It's slow and messy.
Yeah. How is it possible?
Indulging in the mess.
Yeah. Wallowing in it like a piggy.
All right, next question comes in from Jesse Blue. Hello, allies. Greetings from the Midwest. I've been thinking back to my high school years a lot lately, and even though my mom and I weren't close growing up, there were several times she looked the other way when I did something like sneak out to go to a cast party or spend time alone with a boy, just talking. So we always had the I won't tell your father if you don't bond, short and sweet. Is there anything you remember one parent allowing you to do that you both knew the other parent wouldn't approve of? If so, what was it and which parent was the enabler? Thank you for making this past year easier to get through and for doing things your own way.
I manipulated them, but they weren't aware of it. Until later when I got punished for it. But no, I do not know of this you speak. My parents did not. They were strict in terms of like my mom especially. I remember when the Indiana Jones ride opened in 1995 at Disneyland, everyone I knew took the day off school and went, and my mom would let me go. So I went to school
Wow.
with nobody.
Damn.
Well, then it's a Jones. You should have gone the second day when no one was there, and then you would have
Yeah.
had no line.
My dad was always the enabler. Like, it was the classic, like, my mom would say no, go to dad. He would say yes.
Oh, funny. It was the opposite for me.
All the time.
My dad was always all business, and my mom was the one that you asked things.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty common dynamic one way or the other.
Yeah.
Dude,
People.
my mom would enable my video games, and my dad would enable my movies.
Yeah. It's kind of both, I guess, in a lot of
Yeah.
senses. For a lot of
Yeah.
things.
Once I hit like teenage, my parents, I guess they just like trusted me or something. We could kind of just do whatever we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mhm.
we would never
Trust.
like there would be I would have friends like that were like sleeping at my house for like weeks at a time and like nobody cared. Like we just did stuff. Small town too though, I guess.
Mm.
Like we would just disappear for like a full day and then show back up, you know, covered in dirt.
Man, I think back to my high school years, especially my high school years, and it's like, I'm amazed that I got through it. Like, I was a fucking troublemaker, man. Like, I needed to calm down.
But
was
if you
funny
could go
'cause-
back in time, you wouldn't listen to yourself. You know, like if you could be like,
Right.
look,
Oh,
trust me,
totally.
this is
Yeah,
the older
yeah.
version of you. Don't. And you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because as kids, like, I didn't drink or do any of that stuff, drugs or anything, but like we were definitely like messing around, like doing like shenanigans and stuff, but none of it was.
Oh,
too
I mean,
bad.
I did shenanigans. It just was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
official things, you know. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Rather than order of the day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, our next question comes in from Tef. Okay, on the back of the half hot dog, half human question, missed last month.
You miss
Wow.
a Q&A, man, and
Yeah.
So everyone and their mother has been raving about the food review you guys did. So with that said, let's pivot away from fast food and tell us what you would have at a swanky, posh restaurant. Imagine you heading to the gaming Oscars afterwards, where you are all up for individual awards, just setting the scene. So think carefully. No stains on your shirt, boys. Keep up the excellent work.
Lobster biscuit,
Dude,
please.
surf and turf, #1 every time, dude. Steak and a tail. Let's
I
go.
would just have steak, yeah.
See, the problem with me is if I were going home after, I could eat whatever I wanted. If I'm going to an event, I'm going to be very, very nervous about getting a tummy ache. So that means I have to eat something really familiar, because going out to fancy stuff invariably upsets my tum-tum. So I'd probably just have to get something normal if I'm doing the Oscars right after. But if not, then I'd get, what do I like? Chicken, I don't know. Food sucks.
I feel like I don't really do posh restaurants. Like,
Dude, Ben, you love food. What's your experience with lobster tail?
a lobster's good shit. That's
Dude, with a
lobster's good shit. I'm
filet
into lobster.
mignon, man. Surf.
I don't think I've ever done lobster and a
Dude,
filet
surf
mignon.
and turf.
But that
Done
sounds
it.
good.
I've only ever that's like a graduation thing. That's like a wedding type thing, like surf and turf, dude.
It's
When
funny
I-
because my mom just made lobster tails last night.
Nice.
Butterworth.
Yeah,
It
I
actually
don't
was
even.
not
I don't,
that hard or long for her to do.
yeah, I
Oh,
don't think
yeah.
lobster is like that posh. I guess I don't think of it that way. But when I was in New Zealand for my honeymoon, we went to this Japanese restaurant, and I swear the bill must have been like $200. They were like super pro chefs cooking in front of you, multiple courses, like sushi into just like the most delectable meat you've ever had. Like that kind of stuff was awesome. Yeah.
I used it.
I do. Go ahead.
Well, when I used to eat beef, yeah, getting like an amazing filet mignon would be really good. Nowadays, when I go to fancy places, they have to kind of like, because they love cream, these fancy places, so they have to like kind of cater to me a little bit, and it ends up being some kind of like strange chicken or tuna concoction, like a good ahi tuna steak is pretty good.
Yeah, I was actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was just thinking there was a time we went to Vegas and I got like a seared ahi there, and it's like, whoa, this is good.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it was
Tuna-
like, it was on the menu that year, and then like the next year we went back for CES and like it wasn't there. Like, no, I want that specific thing.
That
I
is-
haven't-
Bloodworth,
Yeah.
as someone who goes their entire life eating the same like 4 things because I've found that they don't upset my tummy, when somebody changes their menu, it's like a life-shattering event. It's like terrible for me.
Tuna is good in all forms. Like tuna is an amazing food.
Mhm.
Except for the fake tuna that makes your stomach upset. That some places switch in without telling you.
Oh, okay.
Fake crab.
Dude, I'll eat like fucking tuna
Imitation
from a
crab.
can.
Hmm.
Well, there's imitation crab, but there's also the fake tuna, which is I can't remember the fish that they use for that. It's got some weird name. It looks
Tilapia?
weird. No,
No, that's
No, it doesn't know what you-
Escalar.
Escalar.
Escalar. Yeah,
sorry,
thank
that's
you.
what it is.
Interesting.
Logic error. Yeah.
This is making me really want sushi right now.
If
Sushi's
you
pretty
mistake
sweet.
tilapia for tuna, there's something wrong.
I said the wrong.
Yeah, that's very
I
different.
knew I had the name wrong when I said it. I was
Okay.
But
Tilapia's
tilapia's
good, though.
used for other stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Escalar is the one that pretty much gives
Yeah,
everybody
white tuna,
diarrhea.
Wow. I don't think I've
I-
had the
That's-
unfortunate event of experiencing this.
Some like
Dude.
cheaper places will swap it in for tuna, and like that's why you want to be really careful when.
I've always
when
been
you're
a
getting
salmon person when it comes to salmon.
I
or
was
tuna.
so good food starved as a person, and like when I go back home now, I get like mad at my parents because they like their appreciation of food is like so limited. Like they like won't try sushi because they're afraid of it, and I'm like, this is insane.
Mm.
And
To
it
be
like we
fair-
never had seafood growing
To
up.
be fair, Iowa sushi not the best.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure,
Right,
for
I'd
sure,
say, yeah.
for sure,
Just
for
like
sure.
growing
You're
up-
not wrong.
Growing up in the Midwest, I never liked Mexican food, and now it's like a staple for me out here because it's
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
so much better. It's
Yeah,
so
maybe.
But they won't do like Indian food. They won't do like they're just like so narrow, and it really upsets me because like now growing up, like fish is the best, man. Like you can do so much with fish.
Fresh fish.
Dude, I'm hungry. I have not had
Yeah,
lunch.
You're making me
please,
hungry for
please.
sure.
It's killing me.
I need wings,
All right.
dude.
Oh,
Bone-in
man,
wings.
tacos?
Dude, wing.
Yeah.
Let's just do a stream of us eating wings,
Yeah.
man.
Yep, new goal.
Let's
New
go.
goal.
The worst part about eating bone-in wings, the thing that really sucks is like it gets in your fingernails, and that shit
hate it.
stays
I
there.
hate it.
It like
Totally.
doesn't
Red
matter when you
fingernails.
wash. Yeah, you get like the red fingernails, man. That's the worst
Same
part.
with this. I get chicken karahi from this place near me, and like
Ooh.
I don't know what it is. Opening the container it comes in or something, somehow it always gets on my fingers and stains like these 3 fingernails.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ugh, why?
You can't touch that. Any like a
It's-
lot of
yeah,
Indian
it
curry
stains
stuff, you
immediately.
cannot touch like
Ooh, maybe I'll get
clothes.
chicken
Anything,
Oh,
you're done.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
love it.
you're
so
right about
damn
that.
good.
Yeah, Indian food is like my favorite, and it's so funny because
good.
Omar was making fun of me because like for years I wouldn't try it because I was afraid it would upset my stomach. And he was
Oh.
like,
Oh,
Just
Indian
try
food
it.
is so good.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
tried it
get
and then I fell in
Ethiopian
love with
food
it.
again sometime. We went to
I've heard Ethiopian is
yeah.
amazing.
We went to Little Ethiopia once, but it's not something we've made a habit of.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
All right, our next question comes in from Robert Lee. Hey, allies, what type of stuff do you guys believe in? I'm talking about paranormal, UFOs, Mandela effect type, and simulation theory stuff.
If there's a
Do you believe?
there's a
Do
steady
you believe?
paycheck-
Let me finish the
Yeah, I'll
question.
believe
Steady
anything you
paycheck in
say.
it. I'll believe anything.
Do you believe aliens have ever visited this planet? Do you believe the existence of spirits or demons? What about psychics or witch doctors? Has our timeline or reality altered? I'm normally skeptical about most stuff, though I do believe the RNG gods exist and enjoy taunting me. Just interested to hear
You
your
forgot
thoughts.
about the Loch Ness monster and the theory of Atlantis.
Yeah.
I'm open to it. I'm not like gnarly tinfoil hat, but like I'm open to unexplained shit,
Mm-hmm.
stuff we cannot explain.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, all the UFO stuff happening lately. It's just like, yeah, it's like, yeah. Don's not here because Don was the one going crazy last time we were talking
Yeah.
about it. Like the
Don would be perfect
for
this
the
question.
one going underwater, like the pyramid looking one in the air.
Tic Tac.
It's like, it's like, yeah. Is it either aliens and like, what, how, why are they letting themselves be detective, or is it like someone else who has more on Earth who has more advanced technology than anything we know? Also, I was like, what? It's probably just the U.S. government, because the old way of like the denying it doesn't work anymore. So it's like you act scared and you be like, oh my god, like it has to. You say it has to be alien. You like release everything because it's like, oh shit, the government's scared and it has to be aliens and stuff. But it's like their new cover up for like how they're like developing their secret like weapons and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, we just gotta like hide in plain sight type stuff like
Well,
that.
that's what I was figuring is like, why did the Pentagon declassify this? Like, what's the crazy actual, like, way crazier thing that they know about that they're declassifying this? Like, to prepare us for, like, the thing they know is coming down the line? Like, what?
I feel like if Don was here and you went through the list
Oh
of
my
stuff,
God,
he would
yes.
just say, "I believe all of it."
Yeah. Well, it's weird. Like, I'm a very skeptical person, but I've had, and I've told the stories before, so I won't tell them again. But like, I've had weird experiences, like unexplainable things where other people like I saw a ghost or whatever, and then I had someone else tell me what they thought it looked like, and it matched what I saw. And like, there were things like when I was younger where I could like, I like knew things about a couple of friends that I shouldn't have been able to know. And stuff, just like weird shit. And even though I've like lived it, I don't really still believe it. It's kind of strange.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
it's like magnifying glasses. Like there's just a massive amount of things that we had no idea
Yeah.
they existed, and then all of a sudden they did. So the idea
Right.
that like we're done, we did
No.
Yeah,
humans, we figured it all out. It's like
yeah, that's
Well, that's
not
the thing. Like,
Clearly-
the more you
clearly-
look into like quantum mechanics and stuff, like
right.
the wackier stuff gets. And like, we don't know anything. Like,
Versus
there are things
so big.
There are things passing around us that we can't see and
right.
can't touch and can't like hear. We can't see.
There are
as if we
muons
don't exist.
zipping
yeah,
right through you.
because
Right.
because we're
Mhm.
we're confined to linear space time, so we can't
Right.
perceive other dimensions and stuff. So I think science will explain anything and everything that like people think is like supernatural. And I think things that people find that like can't be unexplained, like ghosts, stuff like that, is just you being sampling a taste of something like you are not supposed to be able to perceive because
Right.
of like your current existence. And like reality as you know it right now is only how you perceive it through human senses and like the limits of being in linear space-time and being in the like bound to, I guess, 4 dimensions, because 3 dimensions plus space-time is the 4th dimension. So like you being like, you just get overwhelmed. Your brain doesn't know how to process stuff whenever like something metals like from another like realm, like platform or existence of whatever. It's like, I don't know what that's a ghost. It's like, nah, it's not really a ghost. It's like, it's literally some being stepping like between your dimension or something, and like they got caught by you for a second. It's like, you freak out and shit like that. It's like, no,
Or, like,
it's
not
like, it's
even-
totally normal.
Not even beings maybe, but just like, because like the radiation coming off your cells are like entangled quantumly with the the radiation of this monitor or like of whatever, and like spooky action at distance, and like Huber, the wave function of like everything is a wave
Collapse
function. You got to collapse that wave function. But like it gets really nuts when you start like thinking about that kind of stuff, where it's like, yeah, if you understood, if you had a good enough model of everything, like you could predict the future, like you could know what's going to happen because you know the predictive, you know how to map the wave function of the universe. It's just like, it gets crazy, man. It's just, science is like nothing yet. We ain't shit. Human beings ain't shit.
You guys sound like you just smoked the fattest one.
I think
Yeah.
my
Like-
brain produces
Wait, are
weed
we-
on its own.
Are we doing that for Q&As now?
I don't believe. I
Yeah,
don't,
are you
I don't
not
believe
high,
any of
Joe?
this shit.
I believe demons
on
and ghosts
PCP.
because it makes horror movies scarier.
Yeah.
That makes it
I
too scary,
choose to
dude.
believe.
Well, but that's the thing is like, I don't know, Hubert, like what I
not
don't
really
believe
on
is that there's
PCP.
like demons that are like, ha, mankind. It's like, I don't believe sentient things that care about humans. Like, I don't think, like, that just seems illogical to me. But it to me, Hubert, it makes horror movies scarier if the
Yeah.
ghost isn't like, I like to hang out in this corner and look at you.
Totally.
It's scarier if it's like a bull in a china shop. Like, it doesn't know what it's doing. It's just
Yeah.
hurting. Like, that's scarier. Like if Jaws was like an evil shark, I'd be like, whatever, but like, no, it's just it's a force of nature. So like that, to me, that's scarier.
When they
Jones-
lurk, I just get sad.
That's why I have an appreciation for Prometheus, because I love the idea of like seeking out a higher being, like a godlike figure, and then you are like, please answer all my questions, and they just fucking murder you. Like, they just don't care about you at all.
But then you realize,
I-
that they're mad at you because one of them was Jesus potentially, and then you're like,
Listen,
Fuck
I'm not
you,
saying
Ridley
it's
Scott.
perfect. I'm talking about the abstract idea.
Ridley Scott, you've gone too far.
Do you
Sorry.
believe in Ridley Scott? That's the question.
No, I do not believe
Not
in
anymore.
La, la, la.
All right, our next question comes in from Michael Rebelato. Hello, allies. Have you ever fallen for the hype? Come on. Yes.
Yeah.
Your discussion about
You met Michael
Of course.
Hype right
Of
now.
course.
your discussion about Hayes on the EZA podcast the other day made me think back to that type of and place in gaming. I was on the GT forums almost daily, and there was a lot of hype surrounding Hayes. It's so funny to me. I was into it and really thought the game was going to be incredible. I was also 13 years old, so take that into consideration. The Halo killer nonsense was prime for Flame Wars, but a lot of the hype was substantiated, developed by Free Radical, 4-player split-screen co-op. Interesting multiplayer ideas like playing Possum and team-specific weapons and abilities. I think a lot of the games seem cutting edge, despite FPS games being a dime a dozen in 2006, 2009, in that range of time. I know Hayes has become a laughingstock, but I do think the ambition to make something great was there. When was the last time you fell for the hype surrounding a game or were massively disappointed by the outcome? I assume this mostly happens to kids, teens, but who knows?
I think the last time I was like a little disappointed in something that I was just so hyped for was probably Metal Gear Solid 5. Just like,
yeah, that's fair.
just so
Yeah,
much
that's fair.
hype, like years of hype. And in the end, I was like, oh, it was fine.
Episode 9.
Yes, people in chat are saying Cyberpunk, and I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, that's
I go
fair
back-
too.
I go
That's
back and
fair
watch that
too.
final episode 9 trailer, and I'm like, this movie looks awesome. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, and that's what's great. Like, that's what's really fun about movies and TV shows. It's like, you can make something really bad look incredible. That's why I love trailers. And like, I still, I've done that with movies I didn't like, and I go back and I'm like, oh yeah, there's that bad movie in the trailer. And like, I got chills. My hair stood up watching that, It's just like, ugh.
Dude, do you guys remember Brink?
Mhm.
Oh, of course.
Yes,
That-
I do.
Dude, that game was so hyped up
Mhm.
and then just vanished. Oh,
Gameflied it.
like no one talks about Brink.
Yeah.
That studio though. That's they're still around. They're doing big shit.
I think I got
nowadays.
Brink from when the Game Trailers gaming closet broke up. I think I grabbed Brink out of
Splash
there.
damage.
Why not?
Good old splash damage.
Spore was a letdown for sure.
Yes.
Oh
Oh,
my
god.
God.
I remember Spore getting in the office and like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Spore was like promised to be like everything to everyone.
Well, like you didn't even. That was Patrick Morales played that, right? Was it Ryan Stevens?
Yeah, I remember. It was. I think it was Patrick, and I just remember we got it, and they were like, they got him on it immediately, and so many hours later came back.
Same day.
Here are the credits.
Yeah, it's like, I'm done.
And they walk out. Everyone walks out and goes, "What? that many years and it's over."
Yeah, Spore. I bought the collector's edition and I remember playing like 2 hours. Never played again.
What about
yeah, dude.
the Sim City? Was that actually hyped before it came out? The last one?
Yeah,
Yeah, to an
I think there
extent,
was
for sure.
hype.
Yeah.
yeah.
4 or whatever.
Hey, my mom shared me an
No, it wasn't 4.
Or no,
Just
the
Sim
one
City.
after- Yeah.
my mom shared me an article from AARP magazine that was that was like, he was like, "Hey, do you know what's going on with video games?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll read this article." And it was actually kind of cool. They like interviewed Sid Meier and Will Wright, and I didn't know SimCity came because he built a game for NES that I played a ton of called Raid on Bungling Bay or Bungling Bay, and to make the game, it was a shmup, and to make it, he created a tool that was a world builder, and then he was like, "This tool is a game." And he was like, "This is really fun. It's just fun to add these elements and see the world come together." And so that's where SimCity came from.
That's awesome.
Yeah, SimCity rules.
This is not a game. I guess it's not really falling for the hype, but I'm pretty crushed by the dismal state of Blizzard. Like a company like so responsible for just so many of my absolute best gaming memories, and like just seeing them struggle and disappoint right now has been, for the last few years, has been rough.
Diablo 4, dude. If Diablo 4 doesn't wow me, Ben, that's gonna be like, I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah.
Diablo 3 was a huge disappointment when it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like sequels definitely can have that feeling. And I was thinking one of them is like, and I enjoyed it, but like Mass Effect Andromeda, right? Like it didn't hit. It didn't land the same way.
Dude, going through the remasters right now, Blood. Psyched to get to Andromeda because I never played it.
Oh, nice.
And I know they were patching it. I was looking at their patch notes. They patched it for like a year.
Yeah, they cleaned it up a lot. Yeah.
Lords of Shadow 2.
No!
Bad game.
That hurts.
My
That one
experience with
stings.
My experience with No Man's Sky, a bunch of people have brought that up, was interesting because like when it came out, it kind of was what I expected it to. Like I thought it would just be kind of like I liked Proteus and stuff, so like just walking around and seeing cool planets was like enough for me. And you know, after a week or whatever, I was done with it. But then I was like I didn't hear much of the backlash until like I'd been playing it for a little while, and I was like, oh okay, yeah, I guess I could see why everyone would be pissed at this. Yeah.
Oh,
Anthem
that is a
Anthem was
funny thing
letdown.
when you play a game, particularly when we're doing a review.
Yeah.
And then people just start coming out after it and like, whoa.
Right. It's
I
like, oh, okay, I
didn't
guess
have
I
that
wasn't
big
mad enough. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like I don't really get mad about games most of the time, but
like Deus Ex Mankind Divided, man. Like people have kind of come back around on it now, but people were
'Cause Cyberbug was the
so
letdown.
upset by the ending. Yeah.
It's the ending, Blood, and then the breach mode controversy. That whole thing.
Oh,
Which game?
yeah. Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
oh.
I was pretty let down by the launch of Destiny 1. Like, like really following that game closely and hearing the way that they talked about it and their grand plans, and then just fighting Fogoth 1,000 times.
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like, I was pretty bummed out.
Man.
Always a love-hate with Destiny in general.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh god. That wizard came from the moon. His name was
I was
Damiani.
pretty disappointed by 14 when it came out originally, the 1.0.
My
I
goodness.
had fond memories of 11, and I was like, oh, cool, new MMO. And it's just dog shit.
Right.
Dude,
Watching Dominator's review, and
I wasn't hyped at all for 14 1.0 though. I had no interest.
I
in it.
wish I could have gotten to play 1.0, not because I know it's terrible, but I just wish I could have seen what it was like.
Damiani asked him if they would do the vanilla.
Yeah.
Isn't that why he went
They're not
nightmare?
doing it. Yeah.
What
Like,
was crazy
nightmare.
when 14 1.0 launched, like a reason I couldn't play it is the system requirements were like
nuts,
insane.
yeah.
Yeah, they were absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
MMOs
All right.
in general always have that problem of disappointment, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Remember Guild
Yeah.
Wars?
Remember Guild Wars?
Guild Wars,
Yeah,
Guild
man.
Wars 2, Warhammer,
I like
WildStar.
Oh, WildStar. That was
Yeah.
disappointing.
WildStar.
Huber tried,
You tried
and
so
I think
hard.
he succeeded. Yeah,
WildStar.
Huber was like on a Wild Star,
Well,
like
Star was hyped for a minute.
yeah.
For a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, I just remember you like trying to get people to play. It was
Mhm.
funny.
Player housing,
Tried
the
so
game.
hard. I remember you were so
our-
stoked about the player housing.
Our next question comes in from Roaring Buttocks.
Love it.
Hi, allies. Simple game. You get 3 skill points and one of 2 choices for each point to spend on. Which skills will you choose? First skill point. So you have to choose one of these 2 options. Perfect sleep. You get restful sleep every night and never feel groggy. Naps will give you a bigger energy boost than normal. That sounds pretty good. Or crisp and fresh. You never get dirty and always feel as fresh as when you first leave the shower.
Sleep.
Which
Sleep.
one gives
Sleep.
me more
Sleep,
DPS?
sleep is so
Sleep.
easy.
I,
Oh my
yeah.
god, sleep.
I sleep
Sleep.
terribly, and I wish
Yeah,
I could
probably
get a good night's
sleep.
sleep.
Sleep for me.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Second point, faster than expected. You no longer hit terrible traffic. There's no way I'm not picking this one. You always experience smooth rides on the freeway and rarely experience slowdowns. Or less busy than usual. You never have to make a reservation, wait in line to order, or wait for a seat of any kind at a restaurant. There's always room for you and your party. Traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even
Not
close.
even
You
close.
can work around lines.
It's interesting. The second one is just very specific to restaurants, but
Yeah, I don't remember restaurants.
Yeah. Order.
because
I don't hate.
like when you
traffic
just say
because I
less
like to
busy
listen
than
to
usual,
books.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Then you bring restaurants in, and it's like, oh,
Right.
sure.
Third one is stocked up. Items you want to buy are always in stock, and websites never crash when you make purchases online. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Or dirty discount. In-store purchases will always happen to have an added 10 to 30% discount at the register.
In
That's pretty
stock.
nuts.
In stock.
In stock, because
In
it's got to
stock.
be in stock
In
to get
stock,
that second
yeah.
benefit to begin with.
I'll take that discount.
I'll get that 3080, baby.
If someone's sold out, I'm just like, oh wait.
No, I hate it.
This
I hate
one's the
not
hardest
knowing
one
when
for
I
me.
could get the
Yeah.
thing.
Waiting
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, you're gonna wait forever for this 3080.
Because like, how many times in your like day-to-day life do you want something and it's out of stock? Like, it doesn't happen that much, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So I think I would choose the
Yeah,
discount.
dude.
You would
Hmm.
save a lot of money
A
over.
lot
the
of money,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, that might be the more prudent.
Oh, if it's for like everything, I guess. Yeah.
Like,
If it's
Everything.
for everything.
This
thinking,
buying less
yeah, it's,
in
yeah.
store,
So think
though.
of like
Well, but they
saving
said
10
only-
to 30%
So like
on.
everywhere,
Yeah,
CVS.
I
But they
order a
said
lot
in
online,
store.
so
They
I
said in
wouldn't-
store.
yeah.
So most of the
They did
expensive,
say in-store purchases.
most of the
That's
expensive
true.
shit you do use online.
That's true.
Hmm.
Yeah, this not if it doesn't account for online, that does make it harder. for sure.
Groceries. Yeah.
I haven't been in a grocery store
groceries,
in
though.
2 years.
You just have it delivered,
Yeah, I subscribe to food now.
Craziness.
The gross.
dude. You're just gonna get to a point where you're like, yeah, I just don't eat.
That would be fucking great.
Get to the
all
Wally
right.
point where
I-
everyone's
I've
just in
enjoyed-
chairs.
We went to one of the store chains here in Florida. Like they've got like an ice cream bar,
Dude, let him die,
and
man.
that ice cream is hype.
Need bone-in wings. No more food
Dude,
talk.
bone-in
No more
wings.
food.
Bone-
Bone-in
got
wings
little-
stream,
little
make it
cups.
happen.
Little cups of ice cream. I have pistachio ice cream. It's so good.
He's not gonna stop. I'm gonna get ice cream later.
All right, next question comes in from Ryan Curtin. Hey, Allies, how important is is a setting or aesthetic in a game to you? As I've gotten older and found myself with less time for games, I've come to realize how particular my tastes have become. I prefer a fantasy setting, be it high fantasy or medieval, something with Eastern influences, or even space fantasy. But I have little interest in anything else. Modern day Earth or even Western or sci-fi just doesn't grab my attention. I imagine since gaming is also your job, that you guys are more open to different experiences and settings, but more and more I've come to realize that I just want to escape into a fantasy world. An exception would be some multiplayer party style game, but for myself, what I want is to get caught up in adventure a la Breath of the Wild or Elder Scrolls. The setting, art style, or overall aesthetic dictate how much you enjoy or get into a game.
Yes.
But all
Yes.
They can definitely have a huge impact. Yeah.
It's more about if it's well done though than like what like I won't dismiss out of hand something for being like, you know, a teen drama or something. But like if it's well done, then it's like, okay, great. Yeah.
Right. But like
Go ahead.
But yeah, when you're talking about settings and stuff, like Huber, he's all into Mafia, and I see something like Mafia or GTA, and it almost doesn't matter to me how cool it is. It's like, yeah, I'm just not into it.
That is less interesting for me as well, actually, now you say that.
A perfect example of this for me is Them's Fighting Herds, where I was told like, oh, it's actually really good. It has great netcode. It's like the fighting is actually really fun. And I was just like, that's awesome. And I'm glad people enjoy this. I just cannot get into the My Little Pony aesthetic. Like I just have no interest in it.
Right.
I can't play it. Like it's I'm just so not interested in it that I can't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know why I'm just not into like Fallout and what was the strategy game that just came out, Wasteland 3, and I'm trying to think of something else.
It's a CRPG, but
that I was really interested in. Well, just like garbage.
Totally.
Just literally like a world of garbage.
What do you hate, brown and gray, Jones?
I just don't like toxic, like, you know,
sludge.
Yeah, I'm just not.
Yeah,
Toxic waste.
I'm not into that shit either.
I've gotten into it before. I've definitely enjoyed it in the past. But I kind of lean more towards sci-fi fantasy and certainly Western stuff. I'm way down for.
I definitely love some settings more than others, but I will not hard out anything because of a setting.
You will not hard out.
Yeah, I won't hard out. I won't hard out. I used to despise like sewers and Fallout and stuff.
Okay. All right. So you've changed, is what you're saying.
Definitely.
Okay.
Hard out is like the most extreme you could go.
Yeah. Used to like the Fallout style, Ben. I would just like wouldn't even look at it.
Yeah. I remember conversations that we had.
But then Fallout 4, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's Valentine.
What?
That's
Wait.
why you
Okay.
like
And then
Fallout 4.
and then just now, I guess as maybe I'm getting older, I don't know. I'll try anything, I guess.
Question: if there's a game entirely about boneless wings, just in the end.
I would play while eating bone-in wings out of spite.
There's a spider in the corner in my room.
Somebody in chat just brought this up, and it's so funny because I dipped into it. I tried it for not the first time. I played a little bit on Stadia, but I was messing around with Power Rangers Battle for the Grid a little bit last night, and I feel like a dumbass for not playing that game sooner because it's super fun. It's super, super fun.
Didn't we stream that?
You just like... No, I don't think we did.
No.
We should, though.
Oh.
Like,
I'm
everything just kind of
Right.
chains into everything.
Great, yeah.
And you have... Huber. You can, like... You pick, like, a Megazord, and you call it in.
Tight.
And so it's just, like, a fucking giant drill that just comes. Like, you can't even see the whole thing. It's great. It's great.
Can you be the Megazord? Or like the big...
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm definitely not... I'm just dipping my toes in.
Sega fighting game, I think, where you can.
It looks like Apple's actually got our podcast to show up now.
Ah.
Oh,
Yay.
sweet.
People have been having inconsistent issues over the past couple of days.
Our last question comes in
wow.
from D. Tenchi, who included a pronunciation guide, which I always appreciate, so
Nice.
thank you. Hi, allies. Longtime fan, first-time patron. I have so many questions I'd like to ask, and I don't know where to start. I've typed and deleted a dozen questions already, so forgive me if this question's been asked before. Have you guys watched Invents? Just kidding. What's the longest game hiatus you've taken? The time between having stopped playing a game and picking it back up, same save file, and finishing it.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I could answer that.
Same save file.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do save file, but I like played Days Gone at launch,
Yeah.
dropped it, and then just restarted like 2 years later and played through the whole thing. So that's what immediately comes to mind.
Minecraft, I did that like 4 times. Where I was just like, I'm done. And then I'm like, all right, I'm back. Like hardcore, playing like every day for weeks, and then like, all right, done. And then a year later, I'm back.
It's definitely something that I've done, but I'm trying to think of like a good, like a really long example. Man, because I sort of did it like, because Titanfall 2, like that's a short game, but like I played the first half of it on stream, and then like it was a month later, and then like, all right, let's finish this game tonight. And I've had a couple of breaks with Cyberpunk. Still need to finish that up sometime.
Yeah, games where I do that don't have like endings, like Fortnite. I'll just like suddenly get back
Right.
into for a little
Oh,
bit. But it's
yeah,
not like
that's-
something where you're gonna get end credits.
That's very different. Yeah.
I'm not sure I've done this.
Yeah.
I do it with anime only.
Oh,
Like
sure.
Naruto, Boruto, you know, I'll watch like big chunks at a time and then take
Mhm.
months off. Come back, watch a chunk.
Well, there's infamous argument Amanda and I had about the Golden Compass, because I read that, which is Golden Compass, Subtle Knife, Amber Spyglass, that trilogy.
Yeah,
That's on
baby.
HBO now. They're in season 2.
Yeah.
And I just was not into the book, and I was just like 20% into it, and I was like, forget this. And Amanda like strong armed me, like, please get back into it. And then I loved it and read the next 2, and
I did
overall
the same
I think
thing,
it's
Jones.
great. But I
did the same
got
thing.
livid. It was the kind of thing where like the author is introducing you to a world, and they're just like, I'm going to tell you this now because I feel like it. I'm like, thanks. I'd like to know other things. You're not gonna tell me those. Okay, great. You know, like basic stuff you should know about the world. You know, and then like randomly mid paragraph, they'd be like, oh, that's because of that. And I'm like, what? Why not? Why? Halfway through this book, do I find that out? Cool.
Huber, it's so funny that you say you do that with anime only, because I feel like I do that with anime a lot as well. Like, I feel like I've been picking up and dropping Hunter x Hunter for like 2 years. Like, I just keep like, I'll like watch a chunk of it, and then I'll like go away for months, and then I'll come back and I'll watch a chunk of it.
Oh,
again.
I've done that with long books for sure.
Yeah.
Just like take a year to read a book.
Done it with books, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
so nice having something like special, like Boruto or Naruto. It's just like this
Oh yeah.
comforting, warm blanket that's like always there when you
Yep.
need it.
It's the second
Uh,
series in the His Dark Materials, Jones. If you haven't read it, it's really good. The Book of Dust.
Yes, I did read that. Yeah, there's just one. Was it a new series or is it another offshoot?
It starts.
I
it's
read a thing about
prequel.
boats. There was like a kid in a
La-
boat.
La
Yeah,
Belle
I read that.
Sauvage, and then there's a second one.
Oh, I
now.
read the second one. Okay.
It's another trilogy.
Damiani, Amanda, and I are currently in season 3 in our revisit of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then we're getting right back into Korra. And we stopped like a little bit into season 2, and then never finished it. And we're gonna keep on trucking. I was like, we could skip season 1. And Amanda's like, I don't remember any of season 1. I'm like, you remember the sports and you don't remember the friends? One guy has a crush on her. And then, okay, gotta watch it again.
Sports and Friends.
Season 1's like the second worst season, but that
Alright.
ending, you can't miss that ending. Holy
Yeah,
shit,
I remember how it ends.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And Avatar's so good. Oh my god.
Avatar's
Uh,
amazing.
I have brought this up before, but Final Fantasy 15, like I think I played through most of that game like over Christmas break, and then I think probably for like awards or something, moved on to some other things, and then didn't get back to 15 until the summer or something, and there was like only like an hour or 2 left of the game. I was just
Right.
like right there.
One Piece has been like the longest journey of my entire life, I think. Started reading that when I was like 18, and I'm 34 now, and I've taken
Wow.
like 4, 5, 6 years off from that series, and I'll come back for a little bit, then drop it again for that long. It'll never end for me.
Brad, it's so funny because like where I am in One Piece now, like I'm pretty far. Like I think I'm in the 80s as far like early 80s as far as volumes go. So like I don't have that much left to get caught up, but I've been at this point for like 2 years now. Like it's
Yeah.
I need to just get caught up. All right, that's gonna do it for the Q&A. Fun questions.
Yeah, hungry. God damn.
We should let you know if you're watching this. we're calling an audible on the group stream
Oh yeah.
tonight.
Oh
Was that decided?
Mhm.
Yeah, so we were gonna stream Let It Die, and what is the
Knockout
other-
Knockout
City.
City
City.
is sick as hell. It's free right now. Chat, go play it. Fun as hell.
But the Resident Evil crossover event for Dead by Daylight is on the PTB, and so we thought that would be super fun because it's like happening right now. And come on,
DK the
so we're
Destroyer
gonna
worked on
stream
Let It
that.
Die. Whoa.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Sorry, we're not playing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry we're
Let
not
It
playing
Die.
it. We do want to play Let It
But
Die.
we were.
though.
Love Let It Die.
We were going to play it. Yes.
Close.
Anyone got anything else?
Thanks, everybody. That was fun.
See you then. Stars.
Thanks, Blood. Have a nice vacation.
Thanks, Blood.
Do I need to buy Nemesis, Ben?
No, it's the
No.
PTB, so it's just like tests.
Yeah.
Sick.
Who's playing it tonight? Are we still
Not
live?
You
I.
are.
I will be out.
I'm playing it?
100% I'm in.
You better get
I'm
downloaded.
in.
I'm
Oh,
in.
fuck.
All right, bye.
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 Wait, who's actually playing it?
Not me.